because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not going to say he's right and I'm not going to say he's wrong. But it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing.
People, more fighters that probably were afraid of him.
First of all, Floyd gonna never want to see no one like Floyd gonna never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Gonna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you. You don't never.
This was your next in line.
Is there like
the last question, guys.
Is there like a love-hate war? Like,
yeah,
fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always.
Floyd Mayweather recently weighed in on the potential rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, offering a sharp critique of Tank's performance in their first bout. He suggested that Davis had underperformed and should have avoided the rematch altogether. Tank didn't take kindly to the comments, firing back at Mayweather and accusing him of being self-centered and jealous. According to Davis, Mayweather struggles to accept other fighters' success and feels a constant need to remain in the spotlight. In a candid statement, Tank said, "First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no fighter do better than him. Why you think they saying Terrence Crawford should fight, like, what sense do that make?" He continued, "He's a great fighter, I won't take that from him. But he always gotta be like, I'm this, I'm that. If he was chill, he'd be the smoothest. But he's not." Tank's rocky exit from Mayweather Promotions further adds context to the feud. Their separation was marked by public disputes and contrasting visions for Tank's career. Davis wanted more autonomy, while Mayweather appeared to prefer tighter control. This clash of perspectives highlighted the difficulties boxers face when choosing between personal independence and the support of powerful promoters. Tank eventually declared, "I'm not signed to a single soul," signaling his break from the promotional giant. When asked during the Deji press conference,
Tank said, "I'm not signed to a single soul." So is Tank now a free agent, or is he still signed with Mayweather Promotions?
Well, this is the Mayweather-Deji press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun, and I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. They say America is the land of the free. So we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
This, buy me that, take me on a jet. All that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not going to let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, man, I got to do what I got to do.
It's about Tank. Mayweather chose to deflect, saying, "This is about entertaining the people. I'm not here to talk disrespectfully about any fighter. America is the land of the free, we live, we love, we strive every day." Bernard Hopkins, a Hall of Famer and longtime voice in the sport, also commented on the matter. He praised Davis for finally stepping out of Mayweather's shadow, likening Mayweather Promotions' influence to chains that limited Tank's full potential. Hopkins acknowledged Mayweather's contributions, like gifting Davis jewelry and jet rides, but emphasized that Davis needed to chart his own course. "At the end of the day, it's his career," Hopkins said. The first fight between Davis and Roach ended in controversy, with referee Steve Willis facing major backlash for not deducting points from Davis during critical moments. Many felt that the officiating swayed the fight in Tank's favor, resulting in a disputed draw. Tank defended himself from critics by calling for a rematch, determined to prove his superiority and erase any doubts. Recalling the in-fight experience, Davis's team was frustrated. "My assistant coach Ben Johnson was going off," Tank said. "That was a knockdown, and the ref just waved it off." And the low blows? Come on. Despite being underdogs, Roach's team gained confidence from the close result. One interviewer noted, "Nobody picked you guys to win, nobody." Roach responded that his main goal wasn't to prove any one person wrong, but rather to silence everyone. Now, Davis wants the rematch as soon as May. Regardless of the outcome.
You should see what's going on. Why if I'm in the corner, I'm erratic in between rounds. What was your feeling in between rounds when you see me?
He was going off. My assistant coach, Ben Johnson, he was going off on him. Like, "Hey, Steve, what's wrong with you?" He was cursing him out and everything. Like, that was a knockdown. Yeah, he just stood off and waved his off, and he was like,
"Yeah, because for me, one person would have been having to deal with Lamont, and the other would have been the whole 60
that's how
seconds.
I was dealing with him, and my man Ben was dealing with the rough.
Right.
He got his attention along with the low blows as well. I was like, "How many blows you gonna let us hit us with?"
Right.
Take a point. And then he finally warned him like in 11 rounds.
That's crazy. Is there anybody in boxing media or media in general, because nobody picked you guys to win at all? Nobody. I mean, I see you guys go on promotional tours from whether it was boxing podcast to the Breakfast Club. Nobody picked you guys to win. Like, when you get a second, you grab me a water. Sorry. And is it anybody that you got? I know because it's more than one person, but is it anybody, thank you, that you took personal out of all the interviews that you did? Is it one or two people or three people that you be like, "This right here, anybody else, but I want to prove this one person wrong"?
It's not necessarily that I wanted to prove them wrong, so I wanted everybody to shut the fuck up, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
but officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that like, I don't want to braid my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims on all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, "Oh, this had no grease or oil in it." No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me.
Roach's stock has risen. He's seen as a real contender in the lightweight division and could potentially face names like Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or even Ryan Garcia. Amid the build-up to the rematch, a minor controversy also emerged involving Tank's hairstylist, who made unnecessary public claims about the state of his hair. Many fans saw it as irrelevant and believed she should have stayed quiet. No one was going to cancel her over that, one observer said. But now she's the one looking unprofessional. Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and a respected voice in boxing, said he was surprised by the first fight's outcome. "I'm a big Tank fan, but I had Roach winning," he admitted. "Not a robbery, but close." He acknowledged that Roach's performance may have emboldened other fighters who once feared Davis. Shakur Stevenson, who had sparred with Roach before, picked him to perform well in the first fight and still favors him in the rematch. "His style is different. It gives Tank problems," he said. While Shakur kept his thoughts on fight strategy close to the chest, possibly because he could end up facing one of them, he confirmed, "It'll be a hell of a fight." Lamont Roach, for his part, has not been quiet. He's been vocal about referee Steve Willis's performance, claiming the official ignored fouls and allowed Davis to receive corner assistance illegally. Roach emphasized that after certain punches, Davis kept wiping his eyes and later claimed it was grease. "Come on," Roach said. "Blood, sweat, spit gets in your eye all the time, you can't."
Close fight in the first place.
That much is true. Me myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan, and I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I voted for them.
Do you consider robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave it the fight.
Right. Talking about this rematch, what do you? I mean, so the one thing Tank always had for him, everyone, he had that kind of almost like Mike Tyson-esque, right? The air of invincibility, the knockout power. People were scared of him, that kind of thing. Do you think what Roach did to him, moving up in weight, and not being a big puncher himself, but able to withstand Tank, that kind of his air of invincibility has maybe been slightly diminished?
I won't say it's been diminished, but I do think that more people, more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid of him.
And do you think that's almost something that could play in Tank's hand, right? Maybe we had an off day, everybody has an off day, and take him.
Everybody can have off night, but I think the one thing that is the most important thing that nobody
possibly June 23rd, possibly June 21st in Las Vegas. I don't know if Vegas just wanted to fight off the publicity, especially with Turkey taking a lot of fights over to Riyadh, or they didn't want to return back to New York State Athletic Commission after they did Lamont Roach dirty. But Lamont said the terms were already agreed on for a rematch. He just had to sign it, so it seemed like it's going to be this Vegas summer blockbuster. It's probably going to be the biggest fight of the year as far as in the United States. So be interesting. Nevada State Athletic Commission don't play, but we'll see how it goes.
Like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight, and I knew his style with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both? What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's mentally not there. What did you feel?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been in all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he gone through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's gonna be the same fighter.
Can't just take time out. Roach is adamant that Steve Willis should not referee the rematch. "Hell no," he said. He lucky Coach Ben didn't see him after the fight. Bozy Ennis, the father and trainer of Jaron Boots Ennis, also criticized the officiating. He believed Davis should have been disqualified for taking a knee and receiving illegal help from his corner. Anyone else would have been DQ'd, he said. As for game plans, Bozy advised Roach to press more in the rematch, particularly in the early rounds. "He looked good, but he's gotta stay busier," he said. Mikey Garcia, a former champion, backed Davis to make key adjustments and win the rematch if he's mentally right. "If Tank's got stuff on his mind, he shouldn't be in the ring. But if he's focused, he's got the edge." The rumored rematch date is June 21st in Las Vegas, a fitting return to the fight capital of the world. Some speculate the Nevada State Athletic Commission pushed for the fight to reassert its authority, especially after recent high-profile events moved to Saudi Arabia. Others believe the return to Vegas avoids the controversy tied to the New York State Athletic Commission's handling of the first bout. Regardless, the stage is set. Whether to settle unfinished business or redefine legacies, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach 2 is shaping up to be one of the biggest fights of the year.
Indication that was something that you have any indication that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me because I'm right beside him. You can see me like, what you talking about? So,
but you say you don't think he well enough?
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye, spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. Can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight. No.
Pops, it's a no?
Hell no.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah. You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up. Me, him going to the corner to get assistance, like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that, but like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. Right. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref.
Floyd Mayweather recently weighed in on the potential rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, offering a sharp critique of Tank's performance in their first bout. He suggested that Davis had underperformed and should have avoided the rematch altogether. Tank didn't take kindly to the comments, firing back at Mayweather and accusing him of being self-centered and jealous. According to Davis, Mayweather struggles to accept other fighters' success and feels a constant need to remain in the spotlight. In a candid statement, Tank said, "First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no fighter do better than him. Why you think they saying Terrence Crawford should fight, like, what sense do that make?" He continued, "He's a great fighter, I won't take that from him. But he always gotta be like, I'm this, I'm that. If he was chill, he'd be the smoothest. But he's not." Tank's rocky exit from Mayweather Promotions further adds context to the feud. Their separation was marked by public disputes and contrasting visions for Tank's career. Davis wanted more autonomy, while Mayweather appeared to prefer tighter control. This clash of perspectives highlighted the difficulties boxers face when choosing between personal independence and the support of powerful promoters. Tank eventually declared, "I'm not signed to a single soul," signaling his break from the promotional giant. When asked during the Deji press conference